Good morning, everyone. This is State Climatologist Gary McManus with your Mesonet Weather Report. I actually have good news. We have a better drought monitor map. Well, better in some cases, worse in some others. Let's take a look. So, you see that down in southeast Oklahoma, the yellow color, those are abnormally dry conditions. So we did have improvements in those areas that saw about 2 to 3 inches of rain over the last 7 days. So good news there. Unfortunately, you can see in two parts of central Oklahoma, we had an increase in that D3, the red color, that's extreme drought. So that expanded up from southwest Oklahoma a little bit more. We also had an increase up in Beaver County of D2 or severe drought. So one side of the state got some pretty good rain, they got some pretty good improvements. The other side of the state, not so much. As we take a look at the days without at least a quarter inch of rainfall in a single day map from the Oklahoma Mesonet, we can see much of the eastern and southern parts of the state, also north central up into northwest Oklahoma, relieved or reset that map, but we still see across the central into west central from 24 to 42 days, and up in the panhandle, it's been as many as 110 days without a good rainfall in that region of the state. So wherever you see the oranges and reds, that's where we definitely need some better rains than what we received over the last 10 to 20 days or so. Let's take a look at the rainfall map from these last two storm systems. Pretty obvious down across southeast Oklahoma, a good 2 to 4 inches across a wide ranging area, even a little bit more than that in some cases up in far northeast Oklahoma. But you can see from southwest up into central Oklahoma, much of the panhandle, in fact much of the rest of the state, generally less than a half inch, and in some cases no rainfall. So no help for those folks out west and into central Oklahoma. Let's extend it out to 30 days and we see this pretty much the same. The amounts just increased by an inch or two everywhere. Now, of course, again, from southwest up into central Oklahoma and the panhandle, still very little rainfall, generally less than a half inch, or in the case of the panhandle, no rainfall at all. But we do see those good rains across the southeastern half or so of the state. The departure from normal rainfall map for the last 30 days, we see good surpluses in that southeastern portion of the state, also up into northeastern Oklahoma, a little bit across the northwestern part of the state, but by and large, deficits remain for the remainder of the state. When we take a look at the percent of normal rainfall map, it shows up a little better. The oranges and reds, those are areas basically less than 50% of normal. And again, over the last 30 days, when you get in those red areas, some cases 0% of normal. So just again, those areas that need some pretty good rains to start to relieve the drought. Well, if we take a look at the temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for next week, it looks like it's going to be at least a warm spring break. We've certainly had some cold spring breaks in our past, but this one looks to be above normal. And if we take a look at the precipitation, it also looks to be significantly dry. So a dry and warm spring break, not what we need, but maybe we'll take it just this one time. It's important to note, even though a lot of the state got some decent rains, it wasn't enough to improve the drought monitor map. We simply need a lot more rainfall, and we need those more quickly, not so much time in between those rains. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.